Well, it's a fantastic day, real nice and sunny, hardly a breath of wind today. Absolutely ideal time for doing a bit of spray painting. And the only spray painting I'm going to be doing in this lockdown is top kits. It's a question I'm getting asked about for God knows how many times this week alone, just about white top kits. Obviously people have seen me using them on films and everything, and they're asking me how I do it and whether I've done it myself. Well, yes, I have done it myself, and in this little video I'll show you how I've done it. If you're a painter and decorator, you might not be as impressed with my skills at spray painting as what you guys might be used to, but it's very rough and ready. It's a cheap and quick and easy fix for what I do, so it serves its purpose for me. But yes, there are neater ways of doing it than the way I do it. So as far as what you need, all I use is just a cheap white matte primer is all I use. Some people use grey. I think white makes a lot more sense to me. Get your kit as light as possible as far as I'm concerned. So that's all I use, about £4 or £5 a can. You can get at least half a dozen kits out of one can. Obviously health and safety, you want a spray mask. We're out in the open here, but you still, obviously you don't want to be inhaling all those paint fumes. I have some tape for masking off the PTFE bush and a Dacron. Sometimes, well, like today, I'm just going to be spray painting an existing kit, and I don't want to take all my elastics and everything out, so I'm just going to mask that. You could also mask the other end if you want to, but I prefer a little bit of a taper. The reason is, you can see on that one, you can actually read what the number one section is still, so that's why I just have a taper. You could mask it off nice and neatly and everything, but to be honest, it serves a purpose for me, and that's just more time when you've got 30 top kits or whatever, or even 5 or 6. It's still hassle, so I don't bother doing that. I don't think there's any need. Just a nice little tape is fine. And one of the most important things that's really overlooked by a lot of people, and certainly by me when I first ever tried doing this, is a little bit of wet and dry paper, or some really fine paper, just to buff your kit down. That's 400 grade. You could probably go finer than that. You just need to create a little bit of a key. Just buff your kit down. You're not sanding the carbon down, you're just buffing it a little bit, just to create a bit of a tooth for the paint to adhere. If you get a damp day, it'll all start flaking off. So I learned that the hard way. The first 2 or 3 I did myself many years ago. So and as far as white kits go, or whether the effort's worth it or not, as far as I'm concerned, yes. I mean, look, there's a white kit and a black kit against the sky there, and as far as I'm concerned, that white kit is less obvious than the black kit there. So you can see that there. Yeah, I think the white kit stands up less against the sky than the black kit. So obviously they'll both cast the same sort of shadow, but it's all about small gains. Now I've been using this style of kit for ages and ages. People like Will Raisin, if you get a world champion like Will, who's been out, done the experimenting, and decided yes, they do give them an edge, then that's good enough for me. I just think any sort of edge I can get, even if it's just 1 or 2 more carp I fall. Yes, they are sometimes going to see those kits, so they are visible. They're not suddenly invisible, but you are reducing the silhouette. You're not reducing the shadow. You can't reduce a shadow. A shadow is a shadow, but you can reduce its silhouette because the light will refract around the white better than it will a black. And if I hold a black and a white kit against the sky, the white is definitely less obvious than the black. So that's good enough for me. On really bright days like this, I think carp will spook whatever you do, but I still think they give me an edge, and that's good enough for me. So that's enough of that. Obviously that's a source of debate, but judging by the amount of messages and emails and all sorts of inquiries I've had in the last week alone, it's obviously something out there that a lot of you out there are interested in. So anyway, without further ado, let's spray a top kit. Just cover the Dacron or your connector or whatever you use. Obviously don't put it on something like that, so you can actually get it off nice and easily afterwards. You don't want to end up cutting it off. You just want to be able to quickly prise it open and get it off again after the paint set. So I tend to do it like that, just so I can get it again afterwards. That's it. Now, I'm not a fan of carbon dust or spray paint, so I'm going to put the old mask on. These might be a little bit in short supply at the moment, so just a decorator's mask. There you are. And just gonna buff it down. So obviously if there's any Tipex marks crayon or whatever you use on your top kits, and get all that off. Maybe a bit of acetone or nail polish remover if you need to, or I use a wax crayon, so a lot of that will come off with the sandpapering as well, but or the buffing. So I'm just going to quickly buff it down, nice and easy. Just rotate it as you go. And then I'm just going to go as far as that transfer there. And that's it. Oh, yep. That's just providing a key for the paint to adhere to. There we are. And obviously you get a bit of carbon residue on that, so I'm just going to get the worst of that off. It's not a lot there. Look, that's all that's on there. Very, very little. Don't even know you can see that. So that's ready for spray painting now. So we've just got 3 more to do today. Quickly do those. Done. Let's get spray painting. Start spraying. Now I'm rotating the kit, working from the top down. I'm just looking for an even coating. I only want to spray once if I can, so that's all I'm aiming for. I'm just rotating it with my other hand, and I've got the top kit behind me on a table, so it's the same height. Everything's nice and stable. And towards the end, luckily what little breeze there is blowing away from me. Almost there. Right, that's where I'm going to spray to. I'm keeping it about 6 to 8 inches away from the kit. Check for any little patches. That's it, done. Well, there you are, 1 sprayed kit. I'm just going to lean that against the wall now and let it dry, and inside so it doesn't blow over. But that's it, job's a good one. Just got 3 more to do now. Happy spraying.